Hi there, I'm Coach Kenneth, and in this video I'm going to be talking to you about, will they give me another chance? So, if you're going through a breakup right now, you're probably feeling tremendous amounts of anxiety, the separation anxiety, and the more anxious you are, the more likely you're feeling symptoms of it, such as sleeplessness, restlessness, inability to focus and concentrate. You might feel like you're in a fog. Your memory probably feels very cloudy to you right now. You're mentally exhausted. You're probably getting a lot of physical pain and stomach aches. You probably feel like your heart has been ripped right out of your chest, and you literally feel like death, and that's because we're wired that way. So, you're probably starting to replay the relationship in your mind, going over things over and over again, and you start to bargain, like, if I had only done this, if I had only said that. Well, it's tough, and I understand, because I've been in that situation. You're constantly wondering, will your ex give you another chance? So, one of the things that guys always want to know is, what are my chances? Will they come back to me? Obviously, every single situation is different. And so when you really want to get that help, go to the website, askcraig.net, and sign up for the coaching. That's why I'm here, guys. I'm really busy, but I'm going to get to you, and I'm going to get you the help that you need. All right? The guys that are working with me are seeing good results, especially when they stick to the plan that we come up with, because I do look at all the different factors that you tell me when I come up with a plan with you. Now, some of you guys don't stick to the plan. And when you don't, it's going to make getting them back more difficult, and sometimes, if you really mess up, you can wind up blowing things for good. But the idea of, will you get back together? Do you have another chance? Let me say this before I get into the email. Most people will revisit the idea of getting back with an ex. If they were attached, they're going to revisit the idea. It's usually not a just quick, I'm done with you and that's it. For most people, that's not how it works. But I want to share with you somebody who has a story, who he's in a really bad place right now. And then I have a second email after that you guys are going to like. But this guy is having a tough time because he didn't stick to the plan. So let me go ahead and read his email. You can see what happened with him. This is from Scott. And he wound up like kind of getting back with his ex, but then she broke up with him again, okay? So he says, "Hey Craig, I'm kind of in a dark place right now, as I'm absolutely heartbroken, and I wanted to share my story. Not so much because I think I have a chance with my ex again, but because I could have, and I screwed up. Like so many of you, I came across Craig's channel and was blown away. I signed up for email coaching and absolutely loved Craig's response. He was thoughtful and insightful. I immediately set up a Skype coaching and we did it that week. I felt like $1 million. He did an excellent job of showing me my particular areas of weakness in the relationship. He has an excellent way of seeing our flaws when we don't. He had shown me exactly how my behavior was counterintuitive and turning my ex off. Craig had very specific videos that he said I needed to watch. I had major issues with communicating. I watched one of them and felt confident. My confidence was really ignorance and arrogance." Let me go on. There's a little bit more. During my follow-up email with Craig, he asked me if I had followed his exact instructions. I told him I had, but I had lied. You're only hurting yourself, guys. I put a lot of thought and effort into this for you, And I always put myself in your situation. So, I didn't stick with the plan we came up with together, as I thought I could make my own changes. They turned out to be a disaster. My ex told me she thought I had changed, but I had not. She was right. I had only been trying to lie to myself. I wanted a quick fix, and it cost me my ex. You are at an extremely fragile time with your ex, and even one wrong text can chase her away. I just want you guys to know, Craig is by far the most insightful breakup expert I have seen. He sees things clearly. You have to trust him. He is telling you things for a reason. All relationships take some work, and the time to do it is while you are split. If you don't, you may be in a hole that is too deep to dig out of. I do have a current plan in place thanks to Craig, but I'm going to work on myself at this time. I hate seeing you guys go through this, and it does frustrate me when I give you very specific things to do and you don't follow them. Because I always say, are you okay with this? Do you like this idea? You want to go from here? What are your thoughts? I don't just tell you what to do if it's something you're not comfortable with. This is something that we have to come up with together, because you know your ex better than anybody. Okay? And I know the behaviors and the relationship side of it to help put the pieces together. So every situation is different. I look at all the different factors. When you sign up for the coaching, here's what happens. If you sign up for an email coaching, I send you an email that you are to fill out. I ask very specific questions in it. You'll see it's very detailed. And all of those things I put together when I'm giving you suggestions. Now, when you do a Skype, here's what I do. Once you sign up for the Skype, I email you a very similar set of questions to the email ones, except I read over everything before our session. That way I know your story, I know your situation, and we're able to use that hour like maximum efficiency. Believe me, guys, I have this down, and I'm really there for you. The Skype is really so helpful to you guys. But maybe you just want to try out the email first and see what you think of my work. But as you can tell, I'm really passionate about what I do here, and I genuinely do want all of you guys to be successful, and I really put in an effort, and you'll see that. So, this guy, he had a good shot, and like he said, he didn't stick to the plan. His issue was communication. I told him, because I kept seeing the patterns, this is what you got to work on, this is what you got to fix. You have to be ready for this, because sometimes, for a lot of us guys, the communication could be the real struggle, where we go back to using the logic and reason, where we talk about when the girl is like, we never go anyplace anymore, and you're like, well, we went out last Thursday. That's the logic and reason, and that is really hard to change and break that cycle. That's why I do the videos like how to be the mountain, how to be her Superman, how to communicate, all those videos, how to be your best option. You have to know that stuff. You have to be able to display those behaviors and be ready for it. Watch those videos. I really want to see those as some of my top videos, because that means to me, you guys are really working on it. So, I have a second email from you guys, that this guy is 28 years old, his ex is 27, they dated for 2 years, and he just started to hear back from her. This is what he says is going on. He says, "Hi Craig, my ex and I have been off and on for the past 6 months or so. My ex had been working a lot for several months as she had a new boss she needed to impress, or she could have been demoted. So, she was working a lot of long hours. I started to get lonely, and I kept my feelings bottled up inside. I saw your video, and it really hit me that I have a very difficult time telling my partner my needs, as I'm afraid they will leave me." So, for many of us, that grew up in a house where you have issues of abandonment, neglect, you weren't really taken care of for whatever reason, not blaming your parents, let's just face the reality of the situation. If you had an insecure attachment to your caregivers, if you felt ignored, abandoned, neglected, unseen, unheard, unimportant, if you felt that way, then you started to do things at an early age to cope with that. One of those things that we do is we're afraid that if we have needs and demands on our caregivers, our parents, that they'll abandon us. So, what happens is because we tend to mirror our relationship with our romantic partner into our relationship with our parents, our caregivers, we do similar things. So, you suppressed your needs, your desires with your parents because you were afraid they were going to abandon you. When you get into a romantic relationship, you do the same thing. So, what he needed to do was talk to this girl about how he was feeling at the time. That way she had the option of trying to give you what you needed. You didn't give her that option because you didn't communicate what you needed that time with her, that she was working all the time. If you do that, if you begin to suppress your emotions and your needs, you begin to get resentful. And some of you guys have been doing it for so long, you're not even aware of the anger you're feeling. I started texting another girl, and I have to admit, it felt really good. I felt wanted and desired again. I had been feeling really lonely. My ex saw my phone go off and was suspicious. She asked who the girl was. I didn't know what to do. I was laying in bed in shock. I tried to just say it was a friend. While she was holding the phone, the girl sent me a nude. Oh, that's brutal. That is brutal, dude. And you got what you deserved, right? You were being sneaky, you were being deceitful, and you got caught. Ouch. My girl lost it. She started screaming, "How can you do this to me?" And she stormed off. The worst part was she had the phone in her hand. She acted like she threw it in the backyard, so when I went out back to look for it, she got in the car and left. Oh, man. I remember when he told me this story. Basically, he's laying in the bed. She storms off to the back, to the back door. Makes it look like she's just thrown the phone in the yard, so he goes out there looking for it. She gets in the car and leaves. Yeah, with the phone. He said, "She tricked me. I felt like a damn dog playing fetch. She had the phone in her hand. I knew I was done." I had been texting that girl for about a month. There were a lot of highly incriminating messages. The only upside is that she saw we had never met. She moved out and is staying with a friend. She said she knows she's been neglecting the relationship. I know I screwed up. What can I do to have another chance? Okay, so the one thing that he does have going for him here is that this girl is actually saying, okay, this is partially my fault too. I've been neglecting the relationship. Now, that does not excuse your behavior in any way. What you did was wrong. Let me make that clear. But at least she's being a little realistic here and saying, you know what? I have been neglecting you. I could understand why you did what you did. But at the same time, you should have communicated with her like an adult. You can't just betray somebody behind their back like this. It's not okay. It's not the kind of help that I'm here to give you guys. I want you guys to have great relationships, amazing relationships. And I want them to be like the kind of relationship you always dreamed of, and that's why I give you these skills. But what can we do here? Is it totally done? I think he's got a shot, okay? Why? Well, because she's being a little bit understanding to him, and I think, based on what he's told me, she does care about this guy. But you need to think about how you would feel if you were in her shoes. You'd be angry, sad, hurt, betrayed. You would have so many different emotions. And she's going to need some time to work through that. So you need to give her some space and let her work through it and see what she wants to do. Any kind of pressure you put on her is probably going to push her away. So back off, give her space, give her time. Now, you need to look at how you've neglected your own needs. Both people have to be in a relationship. When you're not happy, you're going to suppress your feelings, those feelings of anger, and they're going to come out. You may not think they are, but they will, with tiny little things. You're going to become negative, okay? This is so critical. I have a whole video dedicated to negativity coming out, maybe next week. I want to talk about how we use negativity to control other people, especially our partners. And I've got a video that I've been working on, and like I said, it's all going to be about negativity. But you guys, you have to communicate what you want, what you need. It's not fair to your partner to expect them to intuit what you need. And the more that you say that your partner should know what they are supposed to do, the more you're stuck in an early developmental arrest. What do I mean by that? We all go through different stages to develop and become fully functioning adults. If you are stuck at an age or a time period where you expect somebody to know what your needs are, it's like you're trapped in an infancy-like state. Think about it. Or a very, very young age before communication. And you're stuck there because you think that your partner should intuit what you need, just like your parents should intuit what you need. Now, why are you stuck there? There's a good chance it's because you didn't get what you needed from your caregivers, and so you're desperately hoping to get it from your partner. So, for this guy, it's critical that he watches my videos on how to communicate, how to be the mountain, the different ways that I talk about bonding and connecting with your partner to create intimacy and emotional responsive attachment. You have to be able to emotionally respond to what your partner needs and what you need, and it's got to be a give and take. You both have to be in it, and you both need to act like adults. So, if you want to get my help personally, go to my website, askcraig.net. On the center of the page, just click on Schedule Coaching, and you can do email coaching, you can do Skype coaching, whatever option works best for you. If you liked the video and you found it informative, just put a like on there so I know you enjoyed it. And make sure you subscribe to the channel because I do post videos Monday through Friday. That's it for this video. I'm Coach Craig Kenneth, and I will talk with you soon.